Hello friends, my name is Devashish and you are watching Techie Dev. So today we are going to discuss what is cloud. So is it the cloud that comes in monsoon and brings rain to us? So hold on, it's not the same cloud. So in this tutorial we are going to discuss what cloud is. So I'll try to clear all your concept. If you're a beginner in cloud, I'll try to clear all your concepts regarding that. So before we discuss cloud, let's understand why we need cloud or how cloud evolved. So in old days, whenever we require to host any application, we require a physical host machine loaded with all operating system, middleware, framework, everything. And on top of that, we hosted our application. This application can be your simple application like MS Office or your Exchange server, SharePoint, or any other thing. Now, if you have one more application and that is not compatible with this application one, it means it cannot run on the same host server. So what you require another host server, and over that you will host one more application server. So in this way, you are increasing your number of hosts, means you have to buy more number of hardware. You have to manage them all separately. So you are increasing your management cost, you are increasing your hardware cost, your backup, power consumption, everything. And in same way, you can require further more number of hardware machine to host more number of application. So that gave us a requirement to go on virtualization, right? So in market there are many virtualization solutions, like Microsoft has Hyper-V and VMware have their VMware ESX server. So when you install these virtualization solution like Hyper-V or VMware, so you abstract the hardware layer, right? You abstract the hardware layer. So when the hardware layer is abstracted, then you can host multiple virtual machine on the same physical host machine. So this is just a single host, single hardware. On top of that, you are hosting three virtual machine. These three virtual machine, they are independently running individual machines. One can run on Windows, another can run on Linux, and third one can run on any other operating system, right? So it means they are all independent from each other. So the application that is running on that virtual machine not is not conflicting with the application running on another virtual machine, because they are like these physical host machines, but actually they are not, they are the virtual machines, right? So that gave us a benefit of abstracting this physical hardware layer from those virtual machines. So although they are running on the same hardware, but the hardware is abstracted to them, so they run as an individual machines without conflicting with each other. So whatever the hardware resource of this host is there, be it their network component like this switch or any storage, SAN, so they can share that hardware from that host machine, right? Now when you have to manage these Hyper-V host machines, so you have to go on individual machines to manage them, their hardware or their storage, their network devices, right, or their virtual machine. So you have to physically visit these individual Hyper-V hosts to manage them. So now the requirement was that I want to have a central management system. So Microsoft came up with System Center Virtual Machine Manager, and VMware have their vSphere server. So now you have a SCVMM or vSphere server. From this central location, you can manage all the Hyper-V host or VMware ESX server, their network component, their storage component. These all can be managed from a central location. If we talk about SCVMM, so there is a concept of host group. So on SCVMM server, you can create host groups. These host groups can be based on your department or like this production, development, testing, like that. So that's completely up to you how you create these host groups. And then you can add these Hyper-V hosts to these host group. So let's say this host 1 and host 2, they belong to this production host group, and this host 3 and host 4, they belong to this development host group, right? And now I don't need to visit these Hyper-V hosts physically. From this SCVMM server, I can create virtual machines on those host servers. So I just have to select the host group, and SCVMM can intelligently decide that which host machine has the sufficient resource to host that virtual machine. Like, is it the host 1 or host 2? So it can automatically decide, the SCVMM, that which host has that sufficient amount of resources to host that virtual machine, and that virtual machine can be created on that host, right? But here the user, whoever is creating these virtual machines on these host groups, they can even manually select that I want to host it on host 3 or host 4 of my development host group, right? And they can see that it's connecting to which virtual switch or which storage and all. So every that infrastructure is visible to that user. They can see all those things, right? So now one more abstraction layer is added over here, and that is known as cloud. But before we go there, the benefit of using this SCVMM or vSphere is that all this storage, creation management, VM creation management, network device management, patching, replication of the VM, these all are done from a central location. We don't need to run here and there, right? So now what we introduce, cloud was introduced, right? So on top of this SCVMM, means through SCVMM or vSphere, you can create clouds. Like, you see, production cloud, development cloud. You can have cloud based on your own categories, like for the marketing, for the production, for the sales, like that. So that's totally up to you how you want to create the cloud. So now when you create the cloud, you assign these hosts to those cloud. So like my host 1 and host 2 are assigned to production cloud, host 3 and host 4 are assigned to development cloud, right? Now I have a user techie and another user dev. So techie is, let's say, an assigned administrator for this production cloud, and dev is an assigned administrator for this dev cloud. Oh, these names are so similar, right? So when techie logins to that cloud console, so what he will see, he will only see this production cloud. Whereas when Dave, he logs in on that cloud console, he will only see this development cloud. And when this techie creates a virtual machine, so then he can only select that he wants to deploy it on the production cloud, and these hosts, although these host 1 and host 2, they are assigned to this production cloud, but that will be completely invisible for this user techie, and so goes for this user dev for the development cloud, right? So now they can only select that I want to create a VM, and that VM will be created in this respected cloud. Now these host machines, this storage, network, everything is, those infra is hidden from that user, right? So this is the private cloud you are getting over here, right? Let's sum this up in a layman language. So let's say that you have a house, right? And you have more number of floors in your house and you are not utilizing that. So what will you do? You will say that, okay, I'll rent it out to someone, right? So that you can earn money there. Or if you yourself are using it, you have built a house. So building the house, management of the house, everything is yours. So what this cloud, that production or dev cloud is there, that is hiding all your infrastructure. Okay, everything is hidden over there. Nothing is visible to those users. They're just seeing that cloud and they're creating their virtual machine in that cloud. So that is known as a private cloud. Means creation of the cloud, management of the infrastructure, everything is done by you. As I gave you the example of that house. So if you have your own house, so you have to build the house, the maintenance of the house like whitewash, any kind of repair, everything that has to be done by you, right? So same like this is private cloud. This infrastructure is located in your own organization. It can be in your company premises. Not you, but maybe someone from your organization, some other team, they are managing and maintaining this cloud for you. Okay. So, and you are just using that. So that is the private cloud. But if you have some additional floors, as I said, right, and you are not using those floors of your house, so what you can do, you can rent that out. So similarly, there are some organizations, they have built their cloud in their own data center and they are renting it out. Okay, that is known as public cloud. So there are many vendors popularly like Azure, AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, and Google Cloud Services, GCP. So they have created their cloud and they are renting it out. So we as an individual or as an organization, we are just subscribing to their public cloud, and then we are not taking that overhead of managing that infra, the physical host, managing that that SCVMM or V spheres things, right? Everything is taken care by these cloud service providers. So they are taking care of everything, and what we are just doing, we are just enjoying our services over there. So I have an Azure subscription and I want to create a virtual machine over there. I'll simply go and then I create a virtual machine with my required virtual machine size, how many CPU, how many memory I required, what operating system I want to host. I'll simply do that, right? So that is public cloud, where we are not managing the infra is being managed by these companies, there is cloud service provider, that is public cloud. Okay, so public cloud ownership is not with you, it is with the service provider like Azure, AWS, or GCP. But in the private cloud, the ownership is with your company. They have that ownership of that infrastructure, they have to manage it. So this was a brief introduction of cloud. I hope it makes sense to you and I was able to convey this in a very basic, in a layman language. So if you like this video and it was useful to you, so please hit the like button and do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. If you have any question, then please put it up in the comment box. If you have any compliment, then you are welcome. If you want me to make a video in any other topic, so that also you can write in the comment box. Thank you. Bye bye.